Abusia TV. Enyansafo nko anehwe.
Abusafo emu nyina kwaba na yemfa momra Abusia 1 TV so. Abusia 1 TV usenyansafo nko a na ehwe. Se won subscribe ya wadaroma na wa subscribe na wa share na wa like. Ma re fise obelieve message and say no enyansafo nko a na ehwe nti why you lucky se waba beto na hwe bisan se uye nyansani a uchi mupo ye botae ne se be mo man no akonkan na agya namro so ewo do kware mu ewo ehwono eno nti bomoden na boa me se ne be ya kakakra bi na afia kwa wie no ye nyina ye be bomoden na page etimi anyini ewo ehwono me mo afisi apa afisese no na ye twem 1k aye ko yanim ewo hono ensem bebre na eba bulldog e de ensem bi de atodwa a ochirem a ebeteki MPP be 42 43 46 years ansa na bia Ghana ayo madwo so mbesa ato aba ma na omato aba e de ama wo mu ebiem ewo ho Martin Kpebu ayemranim ni ono so de nsem bi e de atodwa no akire nipa a odi MPP anim e be mo no Martin Kpebu watimi ato aba e de ama no and of course waye nadwen se na nado danko Akofu Addo wode ne court daben ena Martin Kpebu e de na nado danko Akofu Addo court na de ena Ghana mampanyi dada waya wode ne court ewo ho no ti awa Momi entutumika na ye nikai enkohwe ire bulldog ensem odi tudwa efa MPP 146 years no ye ba beto aso na ye de amamo
and check out for the next 34 years and now 48 years and everything afa afa no what you say your best succeed no that's what for the next 48 years you be a better after his term, another 16. So again in America, the signs are showing. Like what? With the end and na 2026 you see my sister boss. What is that? Christo say we would have been no cracking. When I say many Christian problem, I don't say many problem. We need problem. I don't mean no problem. Okay, we need problem. Yes. So, I mean, can I say I don't remember me now. I say many Christian problem. I said the personal. Yeah. Comment here. Okay, you know. I hear personal comment now. Okay, I say. Me person me repeat it, but I say I mean repeat it. Until 2026 year. I say maybe I only no problem. Me. Yeah. Oh, maybe I mean no problem. Oh, and when you big problem.
Anyone bulldog no bulldog no dey serve e dey atija no say be take NPP be 42 46 years and san o manya akonya e dey abab omemu se wotie ne nsem a woka na na wo ka nyina no eye nei ofi se amamu pa a ekoso enema eso atete enema bafom from apa na efa brunyi eno ene ma no nam so a wode kasasem na so we eye ade aganafo eno na yenhwe ana eno de betimi ama NDC so mo to ase ya wono maka amamu no mu ana yenu tumi kai ansa no wo ho ya na ade wadwenche de ato ase be so subscribe ya no aye ede amame yenu tumi ka na yenkoti de lawyer Martin Kpebu private legal practitioner wono so de tudwa ede fa MPP amanyuko no anuanom ebechi wonsem.
Question is realistically, how many of these undisclosed will vote for either of these candidates? It's for you to determine. If we were doing prediction, we are not there yet. We've got the numbers as they are. And then be able to realistically say, okay, those who are undecided, how would they vote? How would the split happen? Then you make a decision based on the modeling of certain answers you got from the other earlier questions. So we would get to that point in the final poll, which is in January. Then we can model the outcome based on what we understand the race to be.
I see. Now, so what is the committed voters?
Yes, people who agree.
Who stick out their neck.
Stick out their neck.
Openly say,
openly.
This is the person.
Absolutely. When you use those people as the frame to do analysis, the computation, then you realize that a lot more are opting for Baumia proportionately.
Right.
Than Kennedy, than the rest. Now, the trick here is that if we didn't have the undisclosed voters, this could have been the outcome of the elections.
Right. Okay, so if we didn't have this bracket of
no, just this one.
This undisclosed,
Yes.
11%.
Yes.
We would have gone with
This one. You know why?
Tell me.
Because in a race, the undecided normally break in the way the race is shaped.
Mm-hmm. True.
People who are undecided will not make somebody losing a winner. Only when we have a scandal on the leading candidate, that suddenly becomes new information they have to process. And that could let a leader lose the momentum, and those who are undecided may go to the challenger. Once there's no scandal, they will break the way the race looks.
I see. So and that could actually make a big difference, because look, if you're adding the 11% we saw there to any of the two,
yes,
it could make a big difference. It could widen this gap. If it's added to this, it could actually then
create a situation.
Now,
what we are seeing is that in an unlikely scenario based on this data, we don't see Kennedy overtake Baumia in the first round.
So what you're saying is, if this committed voters module is what we're going with,
yeah,
Dr. Mahmoud Baumia,
yes,
we'll take it.
Yes.
But then there's undisclosed.
Undisclosed. The funny thing about those undisclosed is that some of them have in the past voted for Baumia.
But now they don't want to disclose.
They said they undisclosed.
I see.
So would they actually stick with him, or they will abandon him? $1 million question.
Interesting. So if I get a sense, you have the profile of all these delegates you engage every now and then. So you're able to know who they said they will vote, who they voted for in
last time, yes,
and why they are saying they are undisclosed now. So you see the changes.
We have a bit of idea. Look, there are a lot of data we have. For example, if you look at the data we put out, we ask them how favorable or unfavorable do you see a candidate?
Right.
Oh, favorable, unfavorable. At the moment, on favorability rating, Baumia is 92% overall.
Overall.
Plus 92% favorable rating. 10 is 85.
92,
85. That tells you that somebody is the lead based on probability rating.
Right. I see, but 92, 85 is close. It's not. Then again,
that's why the election will be closer than last time.
Because in 2023, I think it was quite clear. But then again, now we know the difference between the committed and the likely.
Yes.
For the likely, the difference there is the undisclosed voters. That's what makes the big difference.
Yes.
The blue bar represents the outcome of the December poll, based on the likely voters. In November, the delegates you polled said 43% of them said if the elections were the likely voters, they were going to vote for Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Fast forward to December, it increased to 45. So he had a 2 percentage point advantage. But if you look at Kennedy in Japan, in November, 18% of the likely voters said they were going to vote for him. Now look at December, 31%. 31%. That's about a 13 percentage point jump. That's against a 2 percentage point jump for Dr. Mahmoud Baumia between last month and this month. But then you see Dr. Baine Champon as well, now reducing in numbers. And then the others that you keep putting 0% there, they are there. But then the not undisclosed or not disclosed in this one has also reduced from last month to this one, 15% to 11%. But we don't see that directly reflected. So where is Kennedy Japan getting the 13 percentage points increase from?
Now you see that the undecided dropped by 10 points. Undecided.
Yes. 19 to 9%.
9%.
Yeah.
10 points. The not disclosed from 15 to 11. That's 4 points.
True.
So if you add the 4 plus 10, 14.
True.
Brian dropped 2%.
That's 16.
So you can see that Kennedy got 13. Baumia got 2, 15. And slightly little movement around here that you can see.
Interesting. So
that's more violent than anything.
I think we're reading the research report.
Yes. are saying that
We're always
Brian
digressing
Champo,
from
no,
it.
it's not digression.
I don't
So
know.
once Brian Champo is shown that he's that violent, Ghanaians will not make
I
that
don't know
mistake.
the fetish that is Nico.
There are better he
I don't know the fetish that comes to him upon mention of President Akufo-Addo's name.
And we'll come to how he allowed the Korean to run out of Ghana.
Hold on.
We'll come
Thank
to how
you.
Akufo-Addo allowed the
But
Korean to
you have
run
been
out of Ghana.
consistent that the NPP will only get your vote back if Patrick Boama or
Yes.
Kojo Ponkroma
Yes.
is on the ticket.
Yes,
They
and
still
that's
stand
in
by.
2032. As for 2028, look, my brother, it's a lost cause. We are not kids. On what grounds? The money they've looted. Why are we foolish?
But you
I
are
can
part
also
of
become
this is
president.
you are part of
You know,
this
I
is
also
an
become
allegation.
president.
You know this is an allegation. You
But
did it.
the case is in court.
The cases are the cases.
The money they've looted. Why has Ofuriatta fled?
That-
Why has he fled? If he was innocent, why would he sit here? Why would he stay in
Is he the
Ghana?
only person who is not in the country? Let's put it all together.
So, there's no way. 2028, I don't see MPP making any
That's your opinion.
winning the elections. No, then it will suggest that we don't have human resources in Ghana. Until I can become president, Professor Bobin is here. How can we vote for MPP? Why would we vote for MPP 2028? It's a no-brainer. Yes, so I can also do it. Exactly. So you can also, provided you are not on the ticket of the MPP. So we are sitting here, we also can perform the job. So what would make me want to vote for Bambia? 2028, no.
So you're still
Bambia.
going with
Patrick Boama for 2032, not 2028. As for 2028, let's be realistic. That belongs to NDC. 1.7 million votes.
How do you say that this so confident?
So let's be scientific this way. Look, when JM having Ghana close to, JM gave Bambia a gap. Bambia asked for a gap. That the only thing left is a gap. Let's give them a gap. And of course, JM gave them a gap, a very wide gap, about 1.7 million votes. Now, if you look at our electoral cycle and the way human beings, we are pragmatic, we are not idealistic. So in 4 years, unless the NDC government loots us far more than MPP looted, there's no chance that we'll vote MPP back in 4 years. No, unless the NDC loots well beyond Kennedy Akon's statement that MPP was looting like there was no tomorrow. So maybe they should be looting like there's no tomorrow to the highest degree, super
Would
looting.
that not be concerning that, we go into an election and our only measure of who is going to lead us is who has looted less?
Yes, because that's common sense. Because look, Mr. Cancer, every government comes and will do some programs in agri, right? Every government, like in the previous regime, they tried their planting for food and jobs, except that it wasn't revolutionary enough, like what this current administration is doing with Okokon Kitinkiti, that's the Feed Ghana project, Feed Ghana, the research agenda, right? So the previous government wasn't as daring, wasn't as bold, wasn't as revolutionary as this current government, right? Go to education. The current government is
These policies
continuing.
have just started.
Yeah,
They have just started.
yes, but this time, JM knows that if he dare not fail, he himself knows that no, there's no space for failure. So it must only be a win, right? So you look at the sense of urgency, the vigor, etc. You see that this administration is far more purpose than Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo came in with 3 SHS. That 3 SHS, yes, and I'm a lifelong ambassador of 3 SHS. It's laudable, but it wasn't far-reaching enough. Agriculture was a low-hanging fruit where they were supposed to ramp up. And actually, that was the message he brought. And that's one of the reasons I voted for him, that they were going to ramp up a revolutionary agriculture that would deliver jobs and jobs and jobs. And then they did the opposite, right? Yes, so, so the whole thing is that when we say the one who loots far less will be the one to win, it makes sense. In other words, that's the one who keeps the public purse. In Akufo-Addo's regime, we lost the public purse. It ended up in his pocket, he and his family.
But you said, you promised us that you were going to take him on.
Yeah.
You still have a 3-year period.
Yeah, now 2 years left. 1 year is gone.
Yes.
This is December. 2 years, yes, hopefully, because I see, anybody knowing if you are pragmatic, I can take Akufo-Addo on well when Kissi Ejabi is no longer special prosecutor. Kissi Ejabi is already shown that he's playing for them.
You're bringing conditions to the promise you made.
Yes, at that time, I didn't know Kissi Ejabi was going to play for Akufo-Addo. You saw how he started the SML
you made the
investigation.
promise that you would, but there are other ways.
Yes,
other
but I want
ways
the criminal one. But you see how Kissi Ejabi allowed Oforiatta to flee before he started investigations. If I send Akufo-Addo's petition, that's the same thing.
But there are other ways to
yes,
yes,
but I just hope. Yes, but you know something. Thankfully, under Section 15 of the OSC Act, once I presented my petition, the president has 7 days to send it to the Chief Justice. The 7 days have elapsed. It elapsed on 17th of December because I presented it on 11th.
Okay.
The Chief Justice, also under Section 15 of the same law, has 30 days. After the 30 days, I pray that he will make a prima facie determination that Kissi must answer some of the charges. And once that is made, within 2 weeks, 14 days, they must set up a committee, and the committee must finish its work, like the way for the Paramount Committee. They must finish within 90 days. So all I'm saying in one word is that in the next 4 to 5 months, if my petition works, Kissi Ejabi should be out. So when we get a better manager of the OSP, then I can put in my petition. Because
but then again, that's what I'm saying, that the promise that you made was not conditional. It was an unconditional
Oh, don't worry. In 4 to 5 months,
that
we'll
you
get
said
to know.
you will take up and pursue
the case is there.
the former President Akufo-Addo
Yes.
on matters of as you
Yes,
allege.
I've not hidden it. I've not hidden it. It's the case of Manasseh Azure's investigation, the 500 million, let's say, what do you call it?
Contract. You are waiting for another special prosecutor.
Yes, because
until that is done, then what?
Oh, if we are just waiting for about 4 or 5 months to know whether it should
if it doesn't happen, then what?
And then I have to review, but whichever way, at least, hopefully, there will be some reforms. Because even the president said the office should show relevance. So, assuming Kissi doesn't even leave, I expect that middle of the road, there will be reforms. So that henceforth, when he send a petition to the office, Kissi Ejabi alone will not sit on it like what he did to the SML and allow the Oforiatta to run away from this country. That won't happen again. So that when I present my petition, we expect that under a new law, it will go to a committee. Kissi Ejabi sat on several petitions.
So that's all I needed from you. The people who are watching keep reminding me.
Yes.
About that promise that you
and the
made.
case is there. Manasseh is alive. Manasseh is my witness. The fumigation contract.
So the countdown is on.
Yes. Yes. So in 4 to 5 months, we'll know.
But then, in one but you see the economy still being the bigger decider for 2028, as we saw in 2024.
Well, thank you very much. I understand GDP very well and associated figures. I've not followed the poll that much and all of that, but reflecting on your question, I think the economy will still dominate. At least in the last couple of rounds of the survey CDD does.
The Afrobarometer.
Yes, Afrobarometer consistently put the economy more or less at the forefront. And so far, if you look at this year, the economy has not responded optimally when it comes to job creation. We've made some progress and all of that, but we are not in the zone where the economy is delivering sufficient jobs, decent jobs, especially in the formal wage economy. Unemployment is still a big issue, even though the latest release indicate that it is marginally and all of that. So the economy will continue to dominate. It's not only Ghana. We have a youthful population. Between now and 2030 or 2040, our population will be 45 million. 30% of that population will be less than 30 years. They probably would have finished free senior high school, half-baked, enter the universities, and will be looking for jobs that probably exist in the textbooks and all of that. So those are the issues that will be confronted. If you look at the data, the World Bank told us that between 2012 and 2023, this economy on net basis has created just around 250,000 jobs. Within that same space, 2.7 million Ghanaians have entered the labor market annually. Close to 500,000 Ghanaians enter the labor market annually. So the economy will continue to dominate, especially when we are talking about job-rich growth. So for Ghana, and that is the reason why we should be careful when we celebrate GDP growth. Okay, we have moved beyond that GDP. We are looking for job-rich growth. We are looking for inclusive growth because we are sitting on a time bomb. Okay, and in fact, there's a reason why you see a lot of countries have moved beyond glorifying GDP.
Ere yɛsɛ bɛsɛpa ɛde kɔhini aba yɛtase ne bɛnimdifo ano deɛ anuanom edi atwedwen ɛne deɛ mprempren wɔ aburukyire wɔ Ghana ha sɛ deɛ wɔn si hu John Dramani Mahama na mamuo no ɛfa no ɛyɛ ade aso sɛ ɛkɔsɛ yɛ a Ghanafoɔ bɛtumi aka sɛ ɔyɛ president anasɛ mampanyin a waba a yɛnya ne sɛso bi ɛwɔ hanom na so ɔwrɛ sɛ deɛ amamuo yi si kɔ yi a Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia SNPP kɔyi ɔno ana mpo kɛdɛ deɛ Japan a sɛn ɛna ɔmo gyina bea bɛyɛ ɛwɔ 2028 mu yɛnyae na yɛmfa ma mo bro nyada yɛmfa sɛ yɛbɛgye ha mo adwene ɛwɔ medin ɛde abusua pani wosu aduami sɛ wo subscribe ya wadaroma na wa subscribe ɛde ama me ɛwɔ yɛbɔ mo nyina mo ɛna hwɛ a wɔgye ahene wa